Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Gallagher Shots YouTube channel and podcast. We are here with a spontaneous match reaction. We are live on YouTube, as late as always. Wouldn't be correct if we weren't late. But I am your host, Kris, joined by Matty and Andy today. Matty, who has been on the drink since 12 o'clock. So buckle in.
Definitely not me. It's not me. What are we talking about?
Okay. Buckle in. We are in for an exciting one tonight after Newcastle United absolutely batter the red side of Manchester, and we walk away 4-1 victors with all 3 points in the bag as we climb the Premier League table. Matty, I'm going to start with you because you have been on the drink.
Yes.
So we need some positivity flowing through your veins as always, mate. Because you will be up there with everybody else right now. What a result that was. Not necessarily just a result, but what a performance we saw from the boys today, Matty.
Yeah. Class. Absolutely class. We've done match previews. We've done Beyond the Lines this week, which has been great, really enjoyable. And all the predictions have been tight. 2-1s, 1-1s. No real, like, smashing the bits things results. Sorry. But we've all thought Man United have turned a corner. I know they only drew 2-2 in midweek. I know they only drew 0-0 with Man City. Even the 1-0 against Forest, we thought they played well there and they should have probably got a result. On the other hand, hilariously, Newcastle have won 2 games since winning the cup. I don't know if everyone remembers, but Newcastle United won the cup. We won the fucking cup. That was really great. Absolutely amazing and something I will never forget. But we beat Brentford and we beat Leicester. But at the same time, when we beat Brentford and Leicester, it wasn't super convincing. And like I said, Man United sort of seemed like they turned a corner and we were just sort of going through the motions. I was a little bit worried about this game. Shock.
For what reason, though? For what reason were you worried about it?
It was purely because nothing had been shown in these last 2 games that we could maybe dominate a team that has shown that they've got a little bit about them. A team that, regardless of them being a banter club or regardless of them being a team that we've laughed at for the last couple of seasons, it was undeniable that I think it was the second or third least goals in the league that they conceded away from home. And then there was that sort of joke that they can't finish, they can't score goals. You're always worried about Dr. Newcastle. There were just all these sort of perfect sort of elements that might create a really sad state of affairs this Sunday afternoon. And how wrong was I and how wrong was anyone who said that? Absolutely brilliant. First half, I thought fantastically deserved to be in the lead, but the goal they scored, the equaliser, again proved that you can't treat them as absolute losers. Really fast, nice breakaway goal. But the second half, I think in a microcosm showed that we were great and they're bad.
Very bad. Very
bad. But we scored a couple of, for me, 2 goals that showed how good we are, and 1 goal that was like. Yeah, I guess you've still got that problem. Even when you leave your bad keeper at home, you've got that problem. But just really, really nice. Just a nice feeling. I don't know what the stats are. Couldn't pluck them out the air. But I can't remember the last time we scored 4 against Man United at home. Surely that's the most goals we've scored against them since that fabled night in 1996. Maybe that. Sorry, the 4-3 when Shearer got Roy Keane sent off, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a really, really special afternoon. And it came at a time when we're in the hunt for something special. The season will always be special to me, regardless of what happens at the end of this season. But we're in the hunt for something special now, and after some of the results that happened yesterday, yeah. What a great result! What a fucking great result! Sorry to put the old F bomb on there.
All you like. There's gonna be a lot of swear words in this one tonight because
fucking means a lot. Yeah, class, absolutely class.
He's unleashed now.
I am unleashed. Isengard has been unleashed. in the words.
I think obviously, Matty's just referenced obviously that cup win and just the momentum that's followed from that cup win. The lads have got a target now to aim for, especially with the fifth spot being available when it comes to Champions League football. But forget all that. What it comes down to, when everybody knows I'm correct in this, when Bruno wins the coin toss, you know which way the game is going to go, and he's won it. He's won it again. I think about 3-4 times this season he's managed. But he's won it, and it's just dominance. It really is dominance. And then, yes, Man United got the goal to take it 1-1 at half time, and it's probably the only time they ever threatened with to a certain point. They didn't look to really. I don't want to say be us, because of course every single football team wants to win a football game, but they just didn't seem to have the talent to compete with us. And I think in times of that first half, similar to what we saw probably against Leicester, but didn't get out of first gear, but we're still controlling that game in the first half. And yes, you're a bit deflated afterwards. You go, for fuck's sake, it's the first chance that they've had, and the manager hit the back of the net with it. But I think we're going to have to look at individual performances in this. And yes, you look at the players that got the goals. You look at Baum's brace. Yes, we'll touch on that a little bit. Isak's assist is phenomenal for Tonali's finish. Tonali was probably my man of the match. But the one player that I think's gone under the radar, not just today, but over the last couple of games as well, is Tino Livramento in that left back position. He was fantastic today and has been since he's been put in that position.
He's unreal. How good's his dribbling ability for a fullback? I remember he did it in the PSG away game where we were absolutely robbed, where he like nicked it past a few players and then played it across and we scored. But like he looked so comfortable there. I think when he first filled in at left back, we were a bit unsure because he wasn't using his left foot. He looked a bit out. It looked like a square
It's all
peg.
part of the plan, that though, Andy. It's all
Well,
part of the plan, wasn't it?
I can't believe anyhow would say don't use your left foot. But he looks yeah, obviously I think it was Barnes' first goal, wasn't it, where he beat a man, pulled it across, and then Murphy was there to pull it back. But yeah, he's been absolutely top. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen when Hall's back, because Trippier's been great, Livramento's been great. There's going to be a right scrap for, well, Livramento can, I guess, fight for both of those sides of the pitch, can't he? But he's been unreal. I mean, just on about Man United, I think the only other chance I can remember is where they did that little like FIFA Street move where Xerxes did like a little spin pass and got played back to him, and Pope made a good save. Good save. Yeah, good. So even Pope, he didn't have an awful lot to do, but he looked on it, and I couldn't really fault any of them really. Although I will say I was faulting Barnes a little bit at half time, and then he shut me right up within 5 minutes.
And that's one thing as well. I just like, not to sort of take this off a side street as well, but we're talking about Tino Livramento and how we were all worried leading up to that cup final that we're going to have this taped together left-hand side, and Harvey Barnes, which we'll get to, and but Tino, who Kris has just mentioned. I feel like this has been a really revitalized Kieran Trippier at right back as well. Like 100%, like Kieran Trippier, we all know. We don't all know this, by the way. He had a table named after my wedding, by the way. Like, just to let you all know, that's how much I love Kieran Trippier. But like, he was the most important signing that has been made in all the last few years, because he was the one who came and stapled his colours to the mast and said, like, okay, I believe in Newcastle United. Then there was a little bit of a downturn, and I think a lot of people thought he was on his way out. There was some times where Bayern Munich came in and said all this, and there was people saying, yeah, maybe we should take the money.
There's a couple of games, wasn't there, where Everton and then Chelsea,
Everton Chelsea, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I don't want to make any sort of assumptions about personal life and stuff like that. That's just not for us to say. But ever since the cup final, starting with the cup final.
How many cup final references do you want to make already? Like,
I'll make them all, and you'll like them, by the way. But he's been fantastic. I thought that today he was bloody brilliant, like so good, and I think that's probably why we can highlight Tino so much as well. Just really, really good, and we forget he's 34 now. We're coming on 34.
Highlight of his career, isn't
he? And you would think, yeah, oh well, you're done as a Premier League player. Nah. You know, I just no, like not right now, not as it seems. He was so good today, and I just want to like put a highlight on both of those sides. And it's ironic that like the lad on the other side is the usurper, the guy who's going to inherit Trippier's position. because Lewis Hall isn't there anymore. Not anymore, but isn't there because of his injury. How blessed we are to have Lewis Hall and Livramento in our squad. It's crazy.
Do you know what it's all, Matty? I think when you look back, because it's probably been Lewis Hall that been stealing the headlines so far this season at a fullback position. You think, oh, what a player! And I think Tino went through a bit of a difficult patch where a lot of fans weren't sure who was going to be starting at right back, if it was going to be Trips or Tino coming in that right back position. But do you know what it is? I think you've got to hand it to, like you mentioned, to both of those players, for Tino and Trippier, for continuously competing for that position. And yes, it's landed to a certain extent where both of them are getting the game time now because of the unfortunate injury to Lewis Hall. But once again, it just shows you how blessed we are in that position to have some fantastic players in there. And you know what it is? I'm even going to put Emil Kraft's name in there as well, because he's another player where a lot of fans will be like, oh, it's Emil Kraft. But when called upon, he does a damn good job. Yes, he's not going to be that player that's going to be pushing up the field, and similar to what you will get from Tino and Lewis Hall. But Emil Kraft, when you need somebody reliable to come in and fill in that void for the last 15, 20, 30 minutes of a football game, he's the one player that you want coming in. And I think that fullback position right now is fantastic. It really is. We're unbelievably blessed.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Kraft was one of those players that I would sort of put under the same sort of label as like someone like a Javier Manquillo, where when they first came in, I went like, they are useless players. Under the right manager, brilliant. I think
it's about squad players, though. The long game is about squad players, and that's exactly what he is.
And he's super solid. So like, you saw him come on in the cup final, and I was thinking, yes, here he is. He'll short it up. Everything's going to be okay. And the Kraft through jokes, they were sort of they were exactly that. They were a joke at first, but then you realised, hang on, like he is good. I mean, bloody hell, he got injured away at Tranmere and was out for a full season, and then the season after he comes in and is still
at centre back.
Seen as a good player, centre back, right back. But sorry, we're talking about a 4-1 win against Man United at home. We're suddenly talking about being amazing. So I have totally ridden this conversation talking about our.
We kind of just say how class Tonali is every single video and podcast at the end of time.
Before we get to Tonali, somebody else I want to give credit to this game, because sometimes he is a player that goes through games that doesn't have the best performance, but still manages up in the stats, and it's Jacob Murphy. How good was Jacob Murphy's ball back across the goal, the one that came in from Harvey Barnes, and he gets to the byline, he cuts it right. No, it's not Harvey Barnes, it's Tino that puts it in. Then he gets to the byline, Murphy, and just puts that in the best possible spot you could ask somebody. And credit to Harvey Barnes as well for being in the right place and running forward and getting in that position. And I thought, do you know what is like, Andy, what Matty said earlier on is that everybody was worried about that left-hand side. Yes, we'll give credit to Tino, but Harvey Barnes just came in there now, and Gordon has to take that spot away from him, because that's 3 goals in 2 games now.
Yeah. I mean, we've known he can do it. He's been there hasn't been many frustrations this season, but he's been potentially one of them, in that he's not really got the bit between his teeth that Gordon does, where he can get involved in a game and make something out of nowhere. But it was at the early part of this season, wasn't it, when he single-handedly won us a couple of games? He scored against Wolves, was it, and then West Ham as well. So he's got it in his locker. There's been times where when we've not been as good, he kind of just goes a bit anonymous. And I was saying, as the game went on, this is maybe the time to get Gordon back in the team. And then Barnes then picks the ball up, sprints past the entire Man United team and puts it in the top corner. So that's why I'm not a manager. It's an unbelievable goal. I knew he had a great strike on him, and obviously at Leicester a few years back, he was good on the break and stuff, but we haven't really seen him do that for us, where he sort of just picks it up, runs with it, and puts it in the corner. It's all been sort of long shots, little snap chances, things like that. But yeah,
Andy, I remember I did a podcast with a Leicester City podcast lads, and it was about the rumours that were buying Harvey Barnes. And do you know what is? This is probably what you probably get when you sell a player in another club. You probably downgrade them a little bit, and you think, oh, he's not that good. You always downgrade the player, and the Leicester fan that I was speaking to basically said that he's got no end product. What you'll get from him is he'll run to the byline, and he'll just come back. I've never seen that Harvey Barnes since he
Well,
signed
for
for
me,
Newcastle. Complete
it's always,
opposite.
it's always been that for Harvey Barnes. The Newcastle Harvey Barnes is he's
Cut inside.
all end product.
Yeah.
Yeah,
someone
nothing
behind
but
me.
end products.
So there's a guy who sits behind me in my seat. He's been there for 15 years. Young kid, lovely lad. He's called David, and he's always went, I don't know what Harvey Barnes brings other than the fact he's some and scores a great goal.
Apart from scoring, the most important thing.
Surely that's enough. That's enough.
Well, he should have had another goal as well if Isak wasn't arsing around with it.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's got this amazing sort of snap finish on him. You said, but like that goal, the second goal he scored today. For me, it's the nicest moment of brilliance I've ever seen. He might not have meant it, but he gets the ball and he's in the middle of the pitch.
It's a high press, isn't it?
But then he rolls it with, he sort of touches it forward with his left foot, and it's like he sees a gap. Right, put the ball. I'm not going to say it's as good as Ben Arthur's goal against Bolton, but like it's sort of
calm down.
It's the way
hands down.
It's the way he knocks the ball into the box, as if to say, right, I need to knock the ball into the box. Now I'm free. Now I can make the Did he mean it?
It was similar in that when that Ben Arthur goal, he basically just didn't move. He just ran in a straight line. He didn't do anything with it.
But there's a couple of touches that make him go like. It makes him available to make the finish he did, and that finish in the top corner is unbelievable. So that's why
I had to watch the replay, because where I sit, I had no angle of how he did that at all. It looked like he just bumbled it along, and then it just ended up in the top corner. Watch the highlights back, and he never loses control of that for a second. It's unreal.
He knows exactly what he wants to do with that. From the second he gets it from the high press, and it's another game where, do you know what it is? At the start of the season, we're really worried that our intensity in that high press had disappeared. And we'll probably see in the last 7-8 games that high press came back into it, and we look unbeatable. We really do look unbeatable. And do you know what it is? I think it's credit to the fitness team that's behind Newcastle as well, because you just look at the likes of Tonali, and we mentioned this before we went live there, Andy. Tonali in the 80th minute is absolutely pacing it from probably right back position right the way across the field, and he ends up on the left hand side of the field where Gordon would probably play. And he's there, and then he gets to the corner flag, and he megs one of their defender. You literally megs the defender, just playing back into play, and you are literally the best Newcastle United player I have ever seen in my life.
All right, now it's you that needs to calm down.
Yes, he's the best, man. He's literally the best.
It's ridiculous. Like,
he's good though. He's very good.
He's the best. Never mind, good. He's the best.
Andy, do you want to take this one?
Well, I mean, I know he got investigated for betting, but he wants investigating for drugs as well, I think, because he's like, the way he runs.
Because he sold them to Kris.
It's just mad. Like all the talk, like the unsellable players in the team were Botman, Bruno, Gordon, and now it's like, I don't know what I'd do without Tonali.
Yeah,
he just can do everything. Like the amount, I don't think any of us knew that how much he'd be able to run, and I don't know whether this was just his time off during his ban, where he's just become like the Terminator. I've never seen him be tired.
Do you think that's
just ridiculous?
Like, I know it's a ridiculous thing to say when you don't know the bigger picture, but do you think that ban has probably been a good thing for him, as in regards to his career at Newcastle?
I would probably say, yeah. I would probably say that, like, look, I do laugh and parody it a lot. My missus is like a Newcastle fan by proxy, being married to me. But we made the joke about when he first came, before the betting ban, there was that whole thing of, he doesn't want to be here. Look at his face. I think the fact that, like, since he came here, since he came back from the ban, and he's been so successful, and his sort of demeanor and his face has stayed the same, but you just know that he's so emotional and so attached to the club. You saw his face stayed the same when we won the bloody cup for fight. By the way, Newcastle United won a cup, by the way.
Don't pump it up.
But
don't make us put Dasmo's photo behind us.
But he's been so enthusiastic and like you've just said, that I knew his passing ability was good. I knew that his positional play was good. For me, it's what I've seen in terms of him running about the pitch. Unbelievable. Like today, like you've just said, I'll sit in the leasers and I saw him take the ball from the midfield over to the left-hand corner, over to the strawberry corner, nutmeg someone, and then sort of keep the ball as well. Then try and maybe set up a goal. Didn't happen, but like what a player.
The mad
What a
thing is
player.
as well, it feels like we're only just scratching the surface with him as well.
Mm.
Like I feel like we're not even seeing him at his best. I mean, we're seeing him now scoring worldies, like scoring from like ridiculous. It's
I
like
think
you
that's
on,
the
it's
best
like you
goal
on
he's
pro
scored for
clubs, Kris,
Newcastle,
with
by
your
the way.
power shots.
Today is I think that's the best goal he's ever scored for Newcastle. I think that one against Brentford was good, but it sort of took a nick. I loved his debut goal, but that goal, great assist by Isak, great assist. But that's a fucking hell of a finish, and just the way it hit off the post, unreal.
I mean, he's arguably our fittest player. He's maybe our best finisher behind Isak. From what we've seen of him, his finishing looks unbelievable. He's probably the best ball striker in the team, him and Murphy, in terms of hitting it from distance. I don't know what he's bad at.
I kind of want him to shoot more, to be honest.
Gambling.
Well, he's yeah. Well, apparently he was too good at that. That was the problem. But he's the new Tiote now, though. I mean, I don't know if it was the same way you lads sit, but in my corner of the leasers, every time he's getting the ball now from 40 yards plus, it's just shoot without fail.
I was worried that was going to happen with Fabian. Like every time Fabian got the ball,
it does happen with Fabian.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, I think. Do you know the best thing about that goal is the aftermath afterwards? Because I've just watched the highlights before we went live there tonight, and he's like a typical bloke that sees a football and he has to kick it. So he runs around the back of the goal and there's the ball on one of the cones that the ball boys have. They just run past that and absolutely
Kicks it out the ground
that into the stands as well.
It goes miles.
He's just like, do you know what it is? I think there's probably argument, and with me saying this is not taking anything away from any of our other midfielders, but I think if you look at summer just gone, everybody's talking about like Bruno could go to Man City interest and blah 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 blah. Tonali, for me, like yes, we're talking about Bruno being irreplaceable, but Tonali's up there. Joelinton's up there as well. Joelinton's probably one of the players that yes, he brings a physicality and stuff like that. I thought Joelinton had a great game as well today. I think they all did. But I think that midfield three, and Andy, we were joke, like we mentioned that at the start of the season was a bit of a joke that Newcastle have got the best midfield three in the Premier League. I don't think that there's much argument against that. Yes, you can argue the likes of Liverpool have got a solid midfield three, but fuck me, like these three that we've got right now
we've just battered that midfield three in the cup.
Yeah,
but
I'm sorry, did Newcastle win a cup?
Apparently, yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
You might have heard.
Sorry, Andy, please go on.
Well, that's it, isn't it? It's just we've talked about it to death in terms of like the start of the season. How do you play them together? Have you got to play Tonali or Bruno? And now it's just like these match previews that we do are getting boring because there's like we're just like what's the team, right? Well, them three will be in midfield. The front three will be the same. Back four will be the same. But the balance of the midfield is just absolutely perfect. It's like I don't want to lose it ever. I just want them to keep playing for us till the end of time, even if
it'd be a nice little bubble, wouldn't it? We would just stay in this little bubble that we're in right now for the rest of our lives. It'd be fantastic.
It will, and I don't think we're actually going to lose anyone in the summer. I think it would take a lot. It would take an agent really putting some poison in the ear of those players because, I mean, it could just be that we live in our own bubble, but it just seems like they all love being there. They all got each other's back. They're all kissing the badge when they score. I can't see there being any unrest, and like even just the solidarity with the team talking about Eddie Howe, and obviously we don't really know the extent of how ill he is and stuff, but even just them saying we wanted to do it for the manager, it's like I don't think there's going to be many clubs where they've got that kind of love and admiration for the manager that they're willing just to like run through a brick wall when he's not even there. And Tonali's one of them, and all the nonsense about him not wanting to be here, I think he's probably top of the list in terms of he wants to spend his whole career here. He just seems to love it.
Well, I would say it probably speaks volumes that like Bruno's been the one who's been linked away for the last since he joined Newcastle, like 6 months after joining Newcastle. Everyone's Man City, or maybe Real Madrid. There was rumours of a clause if Real Madrid could talk to him, they can.
They've got 4 days to talk to him and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Such a small window.
And it tells you how probably. And I'll touch wood. I don't want to jinx anything, but like the fact that like Tonali's not been the only story that came out was AC Milan want him back. I was like, well,
Obviously.
Good luck
Yeah.
getting the money back for him. Like there's no chance you'll be able to afford him, so we know that's bullshit. But yeah, that just on what Kris was saying, like, it is a fucking fantastic, like such a nice triangle of a midfield.
Did you say
Fuckingly.
good?
He did.
Fuckingly
Fuckingly.
fantastic midfield three.
And you know what? I won't correct myself because it's
Fuckingly.
absolutely perfect.
Get that on a War Flags banner.
Fuckingly fantastic. I heard someone today say that, like, if you were going to improve that midfield, you'd take Joe Linton out of it. And I sort of, it sort of offended me a little bit. I was like, shit, like, who's coming in? Who's coming in there, like, to improve that midfield next to Bruno and Tonali?
It's a perfect balance, oh mate. Like you said, it's a perfect balance.
Yeah. And I see Lewis Miley. I'm not saying he's Joe Linton. There's nowhere near. But like, if you were to replace someone, I don't mind putting a 6'3", 6'4" Geordie boy there who can play the ball very well. Like right now, our midfield is fine. It's fucking fine. It looks nice, and maybe you want to bring some other sort of Swiss Army knife player in who can sort of slot into places should any injuries happen. But right now, I think that's fine. We are fine in the midfield. Like really nice, and like I said, the fact that Tonali's not getting linked away tells you that a lot of people make a lot of shit up because that lad is unbelievable, Jeff.
The best. I'll go back to the best. The best.
Is he in your of all time now? Is he, Kris?
I think he might be, mate. I think it's such a small sample size, but I've never. Like, do you know what it is? We've had some talented midfielders over the years. Newcastle.
Rob Lee's going to punch already.
Yeah. He's just had a knee replacement. Now to catch us first, mate. He definitely catches you with a knee replacement.
He just hop.
But I think we have had some talent in centre midfield. We really have. But do you know what it is? He's just a touch of class tonight. He really is. Like to the point I was saying to Andy before we went live, he could probably walk into most midfield across European football. He's that good. Yeah. And yes, I'd sit here and say we're lucky to have him, but I'm past that. I don't think we are lucky to have him. I think we do. They like the scouting network behind the club at the time, and you're bringing these top talent players in, and there's a reason for it. It's because we are the club where we're not that stepping stone anymore. And I think I need to get that out of my mind because obviously we've been brought up to be Newcastle. We'll get good players, then we'll just sell them on. I don't think that's us anymore. I think we'll bring these talented lads in. Yes, I'm not going to say players that are unheard of because Tonali had a reputation before he came here. But you look at the likes of Isaac, you look at the likes of Bruno and players like that. Like, we're only improving players right now. Like, players are already good players, but we're improving them. And as long as we can continue to get European football and being successful on the field, then what's the reason that they'd want to go anywhere else? Like, yes, you can argue money, location, stuff like that. But come on, like
we're at a point where it feels like it's only going to be like a Real Madrid.
Yeah,
like I don't see it being another Premier League team.
And that's probably what we're talking about PSR, Andy, and how it's restricting us. But it's restricting every other football team as well to an extent, where they can't then come in and buy the likes of Alexander Isak. We paid 60 million quid for him. They can't come in and take him away from us for like 80 million quid because we're not selling. Like, we don't need to sell, so we're not going to sell him. It's going to have to absolutely smash like football and records out
the
water.
economy.
Yeah, like it needs to, because other teams can't afford, no matter how big and how successful you are as a football team, you can't afford to bring a player in like that as well, unless you're selling your top talent as well. So I think we are that team right now that's continuously going to bring these players into the football club and probably stay with it for a good chunk of time.
I don't mean to romanticize it too much. And by the way, I realize this is a match reaction and we haven't spoke about barely anything that's happened in the game.
That's fine. I'm loving this right now.
Talking about players that played in that match.
I'm never going to bed. I'm staying
but what I will say before we talk about the other goals that happened in the game, is the fact that I feel like, again, that every player that we've brought into this club sort of buys into what Eddie Howe's trying to sort of
Philosophy, yeah.
the philosophy put into the club. It's why that when I fucking talk sport the other day, I saw a notification on my phone. Oh, Newcastle going from Cunha from Wolves. I was like, oh, we fuck. Like, sorry, we don't want him there. Like, no disrespect to the guy, but he obviously a fucking weird bastard. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Is he?
Yeah, look, come on, man. Hey,
Do you know him? Like,
but like, all I'm saying is you know, I might sign him, totally prove me wrong. But what I'm saying is, we've brought the likes of Sandro Tonali. When we brought Sandro Tonali in, and everyone was saying, "Oh, he doesn't want to be there." Are you telling me we didn't do our homework? Are you telling me that no one spoke to him and said, "You're going to live here, and this is what's going to happen"? And it was just such bullshit. And like, to watch, I just love those pictures when we win a game, and we see those lads. They just seem so together. And I see the videos. I'm like, they've got the crack. They're together, and I just feel like we're going to sign the right players to push us forward. And that's what I want. That's what I want as a football club, as a team. They just seem to really care about each other, and that's what I like. Really, really, really like.
It fits Eddie Howe mold, doesn't it? I think every single player that we're brought in is exactly what I say, mate. They've got to be the right player on the field, but they've got to have the right character as well to come in this football club. And you say it, you know what it is? Maybe that fans say this about their own team, but the chemistry that they have both on and off the field as a team looks second to none. It really does. And I might be completely wrong. Like I said, every other fan base might think exactly the same about their team, but it just feels different.
Yeah. Especially what we've had in the past. I've seen a comment there from Fish and Rod saying that Cunha's a really nice guy. I'm sorry.
you called him weird for some reason.
Yeah,
weird.
It was only because of his Instagram post and he deleted it. Sorry. I'm sorry. But never mind. Can we talk about that second half now, please?
Of course we can, because we dominated. We absolutely dominated that one. Do you know what it is? We've became quite accustomed to scoring goals just before half time. We'll flip it around a little bit and score just after half time this time. That little bit 15 minutes spell and thought, we're just gonna go and score this half. And it just set the rest of the plan out, didn't it? It just the rest of the tempo for the game. As soon as we went 2-1 up, I thought, right, absolute dreamland this, Andy. But I honestly,
Yeah.
I never thought that we're gonna lose that game from the first kick of the ball. I didn't think we're ever gonna lose it.
No, it's mad to think that this is what our first double over Man U since like the 30s or something like that.
1935.
There you go. Stat all. But it never felt. I mean, I'll be honest. The first half, I thought we were really good, but it just felt like we just needed to turn the screw a bit more. They looked so shaky. They were there for the taking, and we were like half pressing them, and we were pressing them, making a mistake, and then just leaving it with the centre half, and it just felt like we just needed to give that little bit more, because there's been games this season where we've like looked like the better team and then we just concede. And Man United, for how shit they've been, they've just still got this aura that I just feel like they're always going to just do enough. So to score that early, it put everyone back at ease, because that Garnacho goal went in. It was just like, right, here we go. We're going to be that team that actually gives Man United a chance.
Can we address the celebration? I think we need to address the celebration.
I didn't see
Garnacho's one.
You can't celebrate like that when you're in a team that is failing and you're not the best of players.
I didn't even see what he did.
He runs straight in the corner and he's like stood in the corner. It's right in front of the
giving it the FIFA celebration.
Did he over Mbappe? Did he?
They just fold his arms, and
it was a good goal, like.
It was a
good finish. It was a great finish, to be fair.
But I realised that we said, can we talk about the second half? And I've immediately gone back to the first half. So sorry, it's completely off the rails.
Honestly, it was a great finish. But yeah, he goes in the corner and like he folds the arms. He starts with that, then he goes. And you think, what you doing, mate? Like, what you doing? And then that's obviously came back and bite him in the arse in the second half, Andy.
Yes, and then we get to see the Harvey Barnes celebration with the bow and arrow. I don't know if he did it for his first one. I know he did for the second one.
No, he did. He did for his first.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Afterwards.
Trademark has to
Yeah.
be done. But yeah, it just felt like once we got ahead, it was just calmness then, because I was stressing a little bit because we're obviously in such a crunch time in the season. We've been saying that obviously we've got Chelsea to play, we've got big games coming up, but we've still got to beat it's mad to call them a lesser team, but they're terrible. You still got to get it done. So it just feels like we got that goal, the pressure was on them, and we just turned the screw and they just completely capitulated. I mean, the amount of subs they made, I was saying to my mate on the bus, like, I don't know who half these players are for Man United now. Who are all these people? And their goalkeeper, they obviously dropped Onana, brought the new keeper in, and I mean, just to go on to the goal that we haven't discussed, he then just chips it to Joe Linton, who heads it down, and it's like the Man United fans must be thinking, "Bloody
Is
hell!"
that the
What is
Bruno
going on?
goal? Is it?
Yeah.
Bruno one,
I've
yeah.
not seen how. I wear glasses. Okay, man, I'm going to tell you right now. I wear glasses. Everyone, I'm admitting this on the internet. Okay.
Wow,
glasses.
how brave!
Internet.
I wear glasses. I wear glasses to see. But I saw there was a threefold substitution happening, and it was like Callum Wilson, Anthony Gordon. Didn't know who the third person was. I didn't know if it was Emil Kraft or Sean Longstaff. So I went to put my glasses on. Next thing you know, Bruno's got the ball and he's putting the back of the fucking net. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. So there's a story for you.
But the thing after was like, mistake by whatever the goalkeeper was called. And then I was just saying, like I said to my mate, like, Man U now is just like, I don't have a clue who any of them are. It's just such a long way. And I know it's not a Man United.
It's a strange
podcast,
universe
but
we're in right now because I thought exactly the same. I watched the Manchester derby was it last weekend or the weekend before. I watched and I said, well, I was sitting there. I was like, it's weird, because I'm looking at this Manchester team and I have not got a fucking clue who any of these players are.
Yeah.
You'd normally be able to name most of them, the start 11.
Yeah.
And like now I have no idea. And like even today, like I'm looking at them lads today, I was like, it's weird that this is Manchester United, but it's also fantastic at the minute. like you have dropped off a cliff and then been swallowed up by the sea. Like he's
finished below Wolves.
Like honestly, like it's
one
mental.
thing I will give them. One thing I will give. Not Manchester United as a club, maybe the fans. I sit below them. I think Andy, you do as well.
I could hear them. Yeah.
Usually leads on you.
Last 15 minutes, they would not stop chanting Ruben Amorim's name, which I think's pretty cool. Pretty cool from their point of view, given that the fact that they have been a club that have just recycled managers constantly. You know, Kris, you did a video about how, you know, some famous, I use that term loosely. Some Man United fans have said, "Oh, we sack managers who only win the League Cup." Well, you kept them on, and then you sacked them later, and then because of that, you had to then pay them millions of pounds, and it affected your full bottom line, and that led to you sacking really honest people who've worked at Manchester United for years and years and years. Ruben Amorim's came in. He's been honest and said it's a total shit show what's going on at Man U. Total shit show. Would winning the Europa League win that sort of put things right? He said no. I think that's great. I think that's great, the fact that he's gone, nah, total nightmare. The Man United fans, the away fans, kept singing his name for the last 10 minutes.
They're always good in the away ends, to be fair.
Yeah. And I was like,
Shearer within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, forget the Shearer. The Shearer crack does me in. I hate that. We encourage it, by the way, with the whole he turned you down,
that chant, yeah.
and then they say he sent you down, whatever, doesn't matter. But no, they kept singing Amorim's name, and I was like, well, fair play. You know, and I feel like they're really getting behind him to a certain extent. And I was like,
don't know why.
Well, no,
it's even worse.
I think he's done really well to come in and say, look, like, I don't think they're going to be A, can't afford to sack him, but B, like, he's came in and went, this is a shit show. And
on a serious note, I think they know he's got such a like a shower to deal with. I think they
Yeah,
just
exactly.
honesty.
I
Whereas
think he's
Ten Hag was
probably
always towing the line, wasn't he? And he never really spoke out against the owners.
Andy. I think he's.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
he's
That's
probably.
exactly the same, Andy. That's exactly what I was going to say, Andy. Like, he didn't speak out again. He's not speaking out against the owners, but he's just saying,
Just
"Have you
being
seen the
honest.
state of
He's
the
covering his
situation?"
back. That's all that he's doing is covering his back and putting everybody else in a position. And go, I've told you this is shit, so you can't sack us. Like,
Yeah, well,
even if it gets
exactly.
worse, that's what he's done. He's very, very clever what he's done. He's
I
came
think
out.
it's class.
David Moyes tried. Was it David Moyes that done it with Sunderland when he went in? He was like, we'll probably get relegated or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, he did.
He did,
Yeah,
didn't
but
he?
he was managing Sunderland though. He wasn't
Yeah, I'll probably
managing
get relegated.
Man United.
But
Yeah,
talking about the fans, and I think we need to address it as well because we'll probably get comments like while we're doing this live one or later on. Is that it's all about St. James's Park and the acoustics here because I'm in the Strawberry Corner going in the Gallagher, and we did not hear the Man United fans once apart from the scored. And Andy, before we started recording, said all like right the way through you could hear them. Obviously, you sat like directly underneath them. We didn't hear them once, and it's just mental because you can't really judge the atmosphere of a game based on where you are on the ground. You've got to listen to everybody else's opinion. Because I thought the corner today that was probably one of the best atmospheres I've heard for a long time for a home Premier League game. I thought it was fantastic from start to finish, and probably you lads may not have heard that right the way through because sitting at the other side of the ground, and we know fine well we can't get a chance started in the full ground because you start one side and it's dead by the time it gets to the Leazer's end. It really is. But honestly, I thought the atmosphere today was fantastic. What was like from your side for the home fans?
It was good where I was in the corner. I mean, I'm in a bit of a sleepy corner anyway, but it sometimes helps being under the away fans because you can get riled up and there's almost like the back and forth between you. Like,
Are you east and on Milburn's side?
I'm east side, so I'm under the screen
Right,
basically.
okay.
So it's, I mean, you could, even when at the end of the game where you could hear the Man United fans where I was, you could see the Strawberry Corner clapping and continuing, and we could hear you. But obviously, it's just like, it's like you say, it was a bit like the PSG home game where all I could hear where I was a bloody drum the whole time, and it was hard to hear anything else.
Still hearing that now, mate.
I know, yeah. But it did feel good, to be fair. I don't think it's been the best atmosphere of the season by any means, but I think certainly when we got the goal, and I think the second goal as well, when EIEIO gets going and things like that, that's one of those that gets the whole stadium going. I mean, where I am, it's like it's Eddie Howe's Black and White Army or nothing. Yeah. There's like such a rubbish songbook from where I am. I think that's half the problem. Because I think
was loud. I thought
Tonali was good, but we have chance that we should be able to sing for a lot longer, and I feel like we have too many songs that are just like NNA and WC, all that. It's like it's done immediately. Whereas like we have songs that I think people just need to learn because they can just go and go and go. And I think we sometimes miss that in the home end. But when it did get going, it was pretty good. And you could, I think Joe Linton at one point, I saw him applaud the corner. I saw that. So I think the players know that football crowds in England are a bit weird. Sometimes they can be terrible, sometimes they can be amazing. But generally this season it's been class, and this was another good example.
Like a flip of Bruno's coin, isn't it?
Aye, that's it. We just need the same again for Palace because every game now is a cup final. People are dropping points around us. It's there for the take. And I mean, we could come bloody second this year. It's ridiculous.
Well, it's another game down, Matty. You know, I'll come to you. It's another game gone where Joe Linton has dodged the yellow card, so he's now got one left. He's sat on 9 yellow cards, one more, and he misses 2 games. I think it is. I'm sure it's a 2-game ban when you hit 10 yellow cards. He's got that Crystal Palace game coming up on Wednesday. Do you play him?
Yeah, you play him.
Okay, thanks. I agree.
10 out of 10, but like it's just a risk. Did I think that this was the biggest risk yellow card game for him? Yep, I did. But the irony might just come to smack.
Thought he was going to get one when he's getting subbed off, mate.
Wow, what was he?
No, because Ugarte. I was going to pronounce his name. He was just wearing at the money, and he just said he was basically saying, "I've had you on toast the entire game. Shut up."
Is it just South American hate?
Yeah, maybe, but if I'm him, I'm giving him like he's probably giving the Brazilian Paddy Pimblett like treatment, like just like you're a fucking mushroom, you're a fucking dickhead, just proper like saying I've had your life this entire game, don't give me shit, like because he'd been class, he's been absolutely class. But yeah, I think there's still. I think Crystal Palace being a very physical team that they are, there's a chance that maybe he might. I mean Dan Burn as well. You know, you've got the likes of Ezebir.
He's on 8. He's on 8, isn't he?
Yeah, but like Eze and like Dan Burn's got to worry as well. Like, I really, it'd be amazing if they can get through that next game without getting a yellow card. And but I was really,
It's just back to the Bruno of last season, wasn't it? When Bruno had to go like what?
yeah. I just
God knows
think
how many
games.
I just think they're miles different. It's miles different
Yes.
in terms of how they play. But that being said, I mean, when Bruno allegedly said to Eddie Howe, "I won't get booked for the next 7 games," I bet you Eddie Howe was like,
Yeah, fuck
okay.
right.
Yeah.
"Voila, you will." Yeah, class. But there's one thing I want to say, totally different to what about this. I just want to talk about Kevin Keegan.
All right, okay. Yeah.
I want to talk about that war flags. I didn't know that was the thing. I didn't realize that we talked about on the preview that there's going to be a war flags display. I didn't know it was going to be about Kevin Keegan, and I think that's class.
So
Absolutely
Andy said before we went that it was the display that was arranged for the Liverpool game.
Okay.
Because it changed in the last minute.
I think so. That's what I heard.
Okay.
Yeah, we were trying to work out what the context of doing a Keegan display was now, but I guess you don't need a reason. It's just to say.
Well, for me,
we
it's
forget about you.
for me, it's the. I love it. Like
Yeah.
for me, it's against the team that, you know, sort of took away the glory from Kevin Keegan. He did that famous speech that sort of Man United fans sort of like, we got one over on him, this, that, and the other. But to be in the Leeds end, I saw the one in the Gallagher, the Messiah, and then I've seen the picture since in the Leeds end, and oh man, I love the fact that they're still giving Keegan his flowers, and I can't wait for that day. Hopefully, God willing, that he walks out onto that pitch at half time, and
If it ever happens, I don't think it'll happen. Like it just.
Well, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. He's always said that I'll only come back when Ashley's gone. Ashley's been gone for a while, and he still hasn't came back. But God, I'd love it if he wants.
I'd love it.
I would love it.
Well, I mean that genuinely. Like, I would love it if he could come out and just sort of give us a wave, because hey man, like he was the one before Eddie that really gave us hope, you know. So yeah, it was class. It was a class display, and again, I'll always say, like, thank you so much, War Flags. Thank you so much. Absolutely quality.
Hit out of the park every single time. Every single time I hit out of the park. I want to end it with looking at the Premier League table. So.
Oh really?
Go on then.
I do.
We'll have a look. Of course, we'll have a look.
Premier League table. So, bear in mind, every single team around us is sat on 32 games played. So we have a game in hand on 31. You've got Liverpool top of the table on 76 points. You've got Arsenal second on 63 points. You've got Nottingham Forest, who have had a fantastic season from start to finish, who are sat on 57 points. And just 1 point behind them with a game in hand is Newcastle United in 4th place right now. Obviously, you've got that game coming up on Wednesday night against Crystal Palace. And let's say, for argument's sake, let's just look at the best positive outcome from that game. Newcastle United pick up 3 points, and you sat on 59 points, just 4 behind Arsenal in second spot. That is mental. When you already put it in the bag, the Carabao Cup's all wrapped up. It's in the cabinet already, Matty. What a season that has turned out to be.
I mean, look, I think you boys on the absolutely amazing Always Smiling Faces podcast said that a lot of you guys said we're at like 95, 99% amazing season, but purely because we've won a trophy. I forget that we're in the midst of maybe doing something doubly incredible. God, it would be amazing if we could get Champions League football as well as winning a trophy. I'm just setting the foundation of we've won a trophy.
Is it,
Simple as.
would you say it's the best season in the
Yeah.
modern era of
Modern
Newcastle?
history, 100%.
100%, because it's not just the fact that it's not like Wigan. No disrespect to Wigan, like, but it's not like when Wigan won the FA Cup, but also went down, or when Birmingham won the League Cup over Femi Martin. Special mention.
Was that against Arsenal?
Yeah.
Against Arsenal, it was, yeah. And I don't think they went down, but they needed. But like we've won the League Cup, and we've ended a 70-year drought for a domestic trophy. But then we're also in the hunt for Champions League football. There's a good, very, very, very good chance that we will get Europa League football, which basically shuts us up a tier from what we've qualified for through win the League Cup. Yeah, I'm just. It's really hard for me not to get my hopes up too much, because I think there's a lot of people out there who will say, if we don't get Champions League football, it's a disappointment. Shit season. Nah, I'm sorry. I won't. I'll never say it that way. But we are close to doing something stupidly special, and if we do it, amazing. If we don't,
it's fine.
Try not to be too. I know how much it would mean to us as a club for finances and all that stuff. I really do get it, but I just don't think you should hold too much weight on it. That being said, we're all obviously gunning for it. We've done a great job today in putting ourselves forward for it. I think Wednesday is just as big a game as today was.
And I think we'll have to address as well that we are capitalising on every single result that's happening at the weekends.
Exactly,
because every other team is
and
dropping
I feel
points.
right now, you're right, Kris, that I can't believe that the likes we are competing with the likes of Man City, and they keep fucking up. Like they keep fucking up. Forest are doing a great job, but then all of a sudden, Forest the last 3 games,
balloons
Caught
bursting.
up. Yeah, we've caught up.
And it's like we've got a chance here, and we've also been given an extra place. So yes, I understand how important and how disappointing it would be. Let's just get behind them and see what happens. Yeah,
I think we do have to take it with a pinch of salt as well, though, Andy, because yes, I've mentioned all the way down to 4th spot being Newcastle right there. But that goes right the way down to 7th, and it's only 2 points behind all the way down to 7th. So you've got the likes of Villa, Chelsea, Man City, Newcastle, and Forest all vying for that Champions League spot. There's going to be one team that misses out on it, but right now we are the informed team that you're probably going to have to take that spot away from us right now.
Yeah, I think we're in the box seat, and the most important thing is that it's in our hands. And I think there's been a difference in this season compared to the last season we were going for Champions League, where everyone was very non-committal about every answer. They just kept saying, "Oh no, it's one game at a time. We're not aiming for anything in particular." Whereas now it's like, "No, we're going for the Champions League." There's like a big mentality shift the last time. I think that's quite important. But yeah, Villa have snuck up on us. They were having a bit of an off season in the league, and suddenly they're 2 points behind. But I mean, if we beat Palace, which I think will be a much harder game than Man United, although I wish Palace had done us a favour with Man City bottling the 2-0 lead. It's tragic. But and we nearly had Ipswich bottling a 2-0 lead as well. Can everyone just stop bottling 2-0 leads against our rivals? That would be great. But yeah, it's in our hands, and that's it. At the end of the day, the players know that there's no excuse. We're in the box seat, and then, but like we've said, it just feels like we're just going to win every game now, which obviously we're not. And yes, I think our run, well, maybe, but I mean, but you look at the runs, and we've probably got the hardest fixture out of any of those teams around us, which is Arsenal away towards the end of the season. But I mean, we've played them 3 times this season and beat them and not conceded a goal. So it's just like it's there for the taking.
Are you telling me we could do the quadruple over Arsenal?
Aye. and finish second. That'll be the game that takes us above them.
Do you boys have anything else that you want to mention before we're calling out? Because we've been going an hour. I wasn't expecting this, but we've been going an hour. It's after 10 o'clock. Everybody needs to go to bed. It's been a great day as a Newcastle fan. But anything that you just want to mention before we say good night, everybody?
I would say just it's a Sunday. We've all had a drink, haven't we? football.
Yeah to Sunday. Is that what you're thinking? Yeah to Sunday.
For me, it's just sort of. I remember a few 2 or 3 years ago. It was after we beat Spurs at Spurs. Almiron's goal and Callum Wilson's. There's a foul on Hugo Lloris, but he volleys it.
Oh,
in.
that one, yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't a foul at all. But I remember saying that, like, remember where we are right now. Remember where we are in terms of the progress we've made. 2 years later, I'm stood here saying the same thing. 2 years later, I'm saying that we've won a trophy. 2 years later, I'm saying we've had a campaign in the Champions League. And 2 years later, I'm saying that we're threatening to go into another Champions League campaign again. And we're guaranteed another campaign in Europe. I understand that some people just sort of have got into Newcastle United sort of fandom when it's like they're doing well. And I know you just want us to do great, and that's great. But, like, we've all seen some shite. We've seen some really bad times. We've seen times when we're just going to settle for mediocrity, and if not, we're going to settle for just going down to the Championship and just seeing what happens. We are in such a good place right now. Such a good place, and I know there's problematic fucking discussions over the people who own us, but Jesus Christ, this is such a good time to be a Newcastle United fan right now. We've just beaten Man United. Man United 4-1.
Not just beat them, dominated.
Smashed them. And we've just beat the best team, one of the best teams in Europe, about 3 weeks ago. Beat them 2-1 in a cup final. That is fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. So sort of just take stock, realize this is class. Everyone who's involved with the football club want to take it forward in the best way. And yeah, how lucky are we? And also, P.S. get well soon. Eddie Howe, love you to bits.
I was just going to give props to Tindall. I can't really add to what Matty said there.
Yeah.
Season, but obviously doing it all on his own today. It was quite a tricky one, probably quite a tricky team talk at half time, but I thought he managed everything perfect, really. He needs his own chant that isn't an Eddie Howe one at this point, because we were singing Eddie Howe and Jason Tindall. And yeah, exactly. He stood there like, it's not Eddie Howe and Jason Tindall, it's just me. It's just Mad Dog today. Yeah, like
Eddie Howe and Graham Jones.
Something like that. But I just thought I think it's obviously not that easy. He's probably done it before, but yeah, it's not easy managing the very top level of elite sport, just going in as the manager. He probably had to do some thinking on his feet. I don't know how much instruction he obviously had from Howe or whatever, but he did a good job. And if he never does it again, he's got a 100% record. So he'll take it.
Yeah.
Best coach in the league.
And he probably, the fourth official was probably grateful for it, because he had less time to just fucking moan on him all game.
Too busy doing something else,
tactics, actual coaching.
But yeah, boys, it's been an absolute pleasure, this one. It's been a fuckingly great evening, hasn't it, Matty? We're not making any money off this video because we're not going to be putting any money adverts on this. The monetization's got to say not happening. But honestly, it's been a pleasure, boys. It's always great to catch up, especially after a fantastic result like that. There's been over 100 people right the way through this one as well joining us.
Thank you so much, everyone.
On YouTube. Yeah, thanks, everybody. Whilst you're there, just like the video. If you are new to the channel as well and you're not a subscriber, just click on that button, become a subscriber. We do try our very best over here, even after we've had a session during the day. Matty's ready.
Right, you held it together.
I was going to say Matty is ready for bed. I know for fire well Matty's probably going to go and crack open another can.
I'm not ready for bed. What are you
watch
talking
the highlights. But yeah, if you do want to give an extra back, it is just $2.99. I can't even talk now. $2.99 a month to become a member on this one as well. You get early access to videos. You get extra content as well. I'll be back tomorrow night at 7:30 for the Always Smiling Faces podcast. I think we do have a full house tomorrow as well, so it'll be myself, Decker, Mark, and Bestie all there on Monday. What are you laughing at, Matty?
Nah, just because I'm always like, Kris, any extra seats going?
We'll let you recover, Matty. We'll let you recover. But yeah, thanks everybody. Go and celebrate this one. It's a fantastic one. Newcastle United sit 4th in the Premier League with a game in hand and a big fixture coming up on Wednesday night. We'll be back more this week with extra videos. You've got a match preview coming your way as well. And just honestly, just bask in this lovely time as a Newcastle fan. What you doing? See you later. Good night.